United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you just remain standing for a further moment, Pastor Basio will give our invocation.
Happy spring, everyone. Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this time, this day. Lord, these people here who are gathered to assist and to serve. And we pray blessing upon all those who are serving us and those who are in harm's way. We ask for your protection. And I pray for citizens who may be struggling and hurting in physical, emotional, or spiritual needs. Help them, we pray. And thank you. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Ask the clerk to take the roll, please.
Councilman Templin.
Present.
Councilman Cisco.
Present.
Councilman DiGiulio.
Here.
Councilwoman Gavarecki.
Present.
Councilman Rourke.
Here.
Madam Pro Tem McLeod. Here. Treasurer Armstrong.
Present.
And Mayor Mategas.
Present.
We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Ask for a motion for approval of tonight's agenda.
Motion. Support.
Councilman Cisco has moved. Councilman Templin has supported. Are there any questions, changes, additions, deletions?
Let's separate claims and accounts there, Mayor.
Without objection, claims and accounts will be accepted from the consent agenda items. Any other questions or changes? Yes.
Just one. Under other business, will council be allowed to have comments
Yeah,
this
you
evening?
know, a couple of weeks ago, I missed that the other business was up there, and so we'll just take it after item 2.
Okay, thank you. I know Harry wanted to talk.
Not me.
Thanks.
Are there any other questions or changes? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is carried. Ask for a motion to approve the minutes for March 12th, please.
Motion, Mayor.
Councilman DiGiulio has moved. Do I have a support?
Support.
Supported by Mayor Pro Tem McLeod. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that is carried. Now it's a nice thing tonight. Chief Wilkowitz will come and award promotions to 4 of our officers tonight. So, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Come before you tonight to promote 2 lieutenants and 2 sergeants in the Allen Park Police Department. Before I begin, I would be remiss without first thanking Lieutenant Jeff Reimer and Lieutenant Dave Williams, who are retiring from the Allen Park Police Department. Lieutenant Jeff Reimer worked here 24 and a half years. He was prior military service. He had bought 3 years of military service and left employ last October. Had he not left 6 months early, he would be retiring on April 14th of 2019, which is when Dave Williams, Lieutenant Dave Williams, will be retiring. He will have done 25 years of service here in the city of Allen Park at that point. He is also prior military United States Marine, and he had also purchased 3 years of military service prior to his departure. So it is because of the retirement of those 2 lieutenants that allow for these promotions to take place tonight. Oddly enough, the majority of the people here being promoted tonight have also been here coming on their 25th year of service. So I would like to read this promotional certificate, and I will name all the names as we go through to speed the process up and not read the same certificate 4 times. So, to all who shall see these presents greeting, know you that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of Christopher Granica and William Mehall, I do promote this officer to lieutenant in the Allen Park Police Department to rank as such from the 26th day of March 2019. This officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the rank to which promoted by doing and performing all manner of things thereunto pertaining, and I do strictly charge and require all personnel of lesser rank to render obedience to appropriate orders. And this officer is to observe and follow such orders and directions as may be given from time to time by superiors acting according to the rules and regulations governing the discipline of the Allen Park Police Department, presented by me at the City of Allen Park Council Chambers this 26th day of March, 2019. Lieutenant Granica. Lieutenant Mihal. I guess I will be doing this twice because I forgot the sergeants. So they deserve their moment as well. To all who shall see these presents greeting, know that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelity and abilities of Jason Dobberton and Paul Schreier, I do promote these officers to sergeant in the Allen Park Police Department to rank as such from the 26th day of March 2019. This officer will therefore carefully and diligently discharge the duties of the rank to which promoted by doing and performing all manners of things thereunto pertaining. And I do strictly charge and require all personnel of lesser rank to render obedience to appropriate orders. And this officer is to observe and follow such orders and directions as may be given from time to time by superiors acting according to the rules and regulations governing the discipline of the Allen Park Police Department. Presented by me at the City of Allen Park Council Chambers this 26th day of March, 2019. Sergeant Jason Dobberton. Sergeant Paul Schreier.
Chief, can we have a picture of all 5 of you together?
Certainly.
Gentlemen, thank you.
How do you get out of that? How do you get out of that photo? You just kind of hide behind one of them.
Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Are there a number of family members that are here for installation of these promotions? If you'd like to go out into the hallway, we'll give you a few moments to... I was pretty certain they weren't all here to see me.
I cleared out the room.
I'm here to see you, Mayor.
Well, that makes me feel good.
That's right. How you can please the mayor.
Maybe sporadically, maybe once every 4 years for PR, but no.
Okay, we'll go forward. At this point, we have organizational business, and it's the city administrator's report.
I always say that I hate following after that, but I'm really proud tonight to be able to follow after those guys. We got some really good lieutenants and sergeants coming on board here. For our housekeeping report today, good evening, Mayor, Council, residents of Allen Park, students. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer has proclaimed Severe Weather Awareness Week in the state, and is scheduled to run through this Saturday. A tornado drill is planned to take place 1 p.m. Wednesday. The city will be sounding the outdoor warning system at that time. So Wednesday, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll be setting the alarm off. We did put something up on Facebook today, and we'll put another message up as we get closer to the 1 o'clock time. Tomorrow, the 27th, I'm sorry. Did I say tomorrow? Wednesday, March 27th. Tomorrow, Wednesday, March 27th. The building department's BS&A documents are now accessible on the city's website. This allows residents to look up permit information on a particular house, business, building, anything here in the city. They go back as far as 2003, and then they're also working on the ability to process permits online as well. So that'll be a little bit down the road, but it's we're stepping into the 21st century now. So Doing well, thank you. Thank you, Dave. Culver's continues work on the interior renovations of the old Ruby Tuesdays. They have already put in their footing in a wall. They're going to be building an exterior wall, interior. Once they have that wall up, then they'll be able to do the demolition on the outside. They'll be able to secure their building. That should be starting, should be able to see that exterior demolition here shortly, probably within the next week or two. Del Taco, I don't know if you went by there. I posted a picture up on Facebook from that Matt Baker took on Thursday or Friday. Today's version looks a whole lot different. There is nothing there but the old cinder block building, and so that'll be it's the Wendy's old Wendy's site is going to be the Del Taco. Work continues on the Marriott Town Place Suites, which is on the old City Hall property. They've got the elevator shafts being constructed. I think they might be done with those now. And we noticed yesterday that there was the plumbing stubs were coming out of the ground for the first floor, so they're making progress on that. Working with the finance director and deputy finance director this week to go over the preliminary 2019-20 budget with the department heads and address any concerns or potential concerns. We should have that ready to be distributed by the finance director on Tuesday, April 9th, right before the council meeting. So he'll have that preliminary draft budget for you at that point in time. And then City Hall will be closed on Wednesday, April 10th, starting at 10:30, or starting at 11:30 for staff training. So Wednesday, April 10th for staff training, City Hall will be closed starting at 4:30. I imagine that's going to last the entire time to the 4:30 time frame for staff. 11:30 on April 10th. I might as well just start over again. And then I passed out some information on the engineer's report, and also a summary that I think Tom had received at the DCC DPW Directors Forum, and it was on the Fixing of Michigan Roads plan, the summary. I know this is the one that has not, I think it's caused heartburn for almost everybody, about 45 cents for gas tax, but it does go through some of the issues, kind of outlines it. As we get that information, I'll pass that along to council, and so you can be as informed as possible on those decisions that are being made in Lansing. And then I did receive communication from Bruce Hammond. He applied on the city's behalf for 2 STPU funding grants through the Wayne County Federal Aid Committee. We've received this grant in the past. This is how we did Enterprise Drive to take out the washboard effect down close to Oakwood Boulevard. They put in for northbound service drive of M39, Southfield Road, Southfield Freeway. Estimated project is $750,000. Requested funding is $613,874. And then also to the repaving with asphalt of Pinecrest, plus the 2 crossovers. Estimated project cost would be $551,000, and the federal aid request is $450,870. It requires an 18.15% match by the community. So we've got those going in. He submitted those on our behalf to Wayne County FAC, and we'll hope to hear back from them within the next few months. And hopefully those do get awarded, one, if not both, and both are in dire need of repair as well. As we know, Pinecrest took a real abuse from the I-75 closure, and hopefully this is they'll be able to help us get that funding to make those repairs over there. That is everything I have this evening.
Any questions of the city administrator?
I have one, Mayor.
Yes, Councilman DiGiulio.
What's going on with the Allen Park Bar? It seems like it stopped work there.
You know, I'll have to find out from the building department. I know the DDA was involved in a project. I'm going to guess that project's still on. I think he's just maybe in a holding process for the winter time. Yeah, it could be. I'm not too sure.
So everything's ready to go on it. He just needs to...
I'll check with the building department tomorrow and find out, make sure everything is up there, and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I'd ask for a motion to accept and file the updates, reports,
Motion,
and
Mayor.
documents. Councilman DiGiulio is moved. Do I have a support? Councilman Rourke is seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That is carried. At this point in the agenda, we're at public comments. 4 minutes allowed to each person that comes before us. I ask you to observe the rules on the back of the agenda, which are our rules of decorum. And if you'll come forward with your comments or questions, please.
Good evening, City Council, Mayor, Ray McGusson Quant. On my way into Allen Park today, I noticed coming out of Southfield, it's really starting to really look really bad. We got to get a hold of Wayne County to bring in their machines to do some sweeping and to clean that area up. There is paper, there is crud all over the place. I mean, it is really bad. So the people coming in to Allen Park really see that area, and it is downright a mess. And I'm talking about coming off the expressway right into our downtown area. So anyone you get up on the expressway, when you come in, you'll see what I'm talking about. It really looks crappy. You know, we got to start doing something. We pay big tax dollars, and it should be at least get some street sweepers over there from the county to clean up all that crud that's all along our highways. That's one thing. Also, I don't know if any of you knew it, but the last 2 weeks, we had the world against the United States of America here. You're wondering, what are you talking about? The PBA was here in a Thunderbolt. They had 4 big major events going on over there. It was not promoted within our city. The next time, I would love to see a bigger promotion where everyone knows that it's going on, so we can promote not only those events, but we can promote our businesses. The last thing is, through whoever wants to add this, if we're planning to do concrete work in the future, I sure hope our roads that are brand new concrete don't start to scale as heavy as some of our brand new roads have done. I don't want to hear no excuses. It's our tax money, it's your tax money, it's my tax money, and just because a road looks nice and white, when it looks really cruddy, where the scale is just popping off, and it's gravel all over the side of the road again, it doesn't look good. It looks like it needs to be replaced. I like to see maybe bring in these head honchos that come in here that talk about bringing the cream to the top of our concrete and quit bringing the cream to the top and do something so it doesn't look as cruddy as it does. And I'm sorry. I went past a couple of them yesterday, and I'm going to tell you, I was like, wow, why is all that concrete on the side of the curb? It's because the top layer of the concrete. And if I talk to some other, they say, don't worry about it. The concrete below it is still good. No more excuses. So if someone can address this, and I know this was addressed earlier, maybe someone can talk about this right now and give me some answers of what we're going to do in the future. If we're going to allow this, and if it starts to happen, it gets totally tore out and gets totally redone at their expense. Question.
I know there's a big discussion right now with the State Road Commission and standards that the problem with the way they use the automated finishing machine on the roads today.
I'm talking about within our city.
I am too, because oftentimes it's state standards that are being set that apply to all the different streets. And we can apply some different things, but the machines that finish ours are very similar to what are finishing the lanes on the state roads. And they are having a problem with the way they put that creme, I'll call it, on the top. And for however they're shaking it, it is not working very well, and I don't know that there is a particular answer, but everybody knows it's a problem, and they're trying to figure it out, and I don't,
Mayor, have you done that, if they done that to your road, I'm gonna tell you, if someone done that to my drive, they'll be out there ripping it out and putting brand spanking new on it.
It is being looked at by the engineer. It is being looked at. It's a problem not only here in Allen Park, it's a problem all over southeast Michigan. So it's just not an Allen Park issue.
No, okay, at least you answered that. I mean, but wow, what an answer, huh? Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Getting shocked today. Charles Blevin Champagne. Glad to see more public safety hires and promotions are in the city. Again, right by where I live on Allen Road, closer to the middle school side, not the high school side, there's a couple potholes on Allen and Champaign, and it's a busy street with the schools every day and stuff, but just something to look at, just to get filled in or something like that. Last weekend and a couple weekends ago, there was the performance of the Elm Park Drama Club at Little Mermaid musical. They did a fantastic job, the students there, and I really hope in the future, like Ray was talking about, with promoting events in our city. I know they probably did with in front of the high school with their light up monarchy and stuff, but that's something like in the past I've been talking about with the and I know you guys discussed about it, that we need to have something in front of the city hall or downtown or something so that we can keep advertising fun events and stuff. And I found out the other day on the city website, there's e-newsletter that you can go on and get updates and stuff. So I encourage residents to do that, because I didn't even know about it, and promote that more often and stuff, so that more residents can see these events and know what's going on in the city. Behind the businesses, alleyways on Allen Road, like behind Wheat and Rye or Little Caesars and stuff, who is it, the businesses or DDA or the city who's in charge of making it all smooth and stuff? Because the other day when I was behind Baskin Robbins, there's a lot of
Craters.
yeah, craters. Yes, thank you. And I have a little car, and I don't want my car to get stuck and all that stuff. So, just something to look into, especially right there, especially. But I know one year they did that. Like I know behind like Primo's and around over there one year and stuff like that, but just maybe something to look into. I don't know if we have the money for that and stuff like that, but hopefully something happens. The ordinance on other businesses and says the fireworks, and I was reading it on the website. Is there any difference of what we have now, or is it just certain dates? Because I know right now you can do it the day before, the day of, and the day after. Is there anything different from this one? And I know there's a public hearing coming up as well. Is there an updated street map of when we fix the new roads? I know when we first started to amend that new the millage and stuff, we had we had a map that had like the green, the red, the yellow of all the streets and stuff. If we can maybe have a updated map of that on the city website or in here, so that people know what their taxpayers' money, what has happened in the last few years and stuff like that. And I encourage residents to come up here and speak to their council. I see it all the time on social media about things, but may come here to talk to you guys as well. And keep up the good work and stay positive. Thank you.
Through the chair, if I may.
yes.
Allen Road is a county road, and if there's potholes on there, we have tried to help them in the past, but if there's a complaint on Allen Road or any county road in the city, Allen Road, Pelham, Outer Drive, the number for that is 1-800, I'm sorry, 188 Road Crew, 1-888 762-3273. Charles's time was up. 188 Road Crew, 1-888-762-3273. That is the number, if you recall, that Commissioner Baydoun gave us last time as well. Those are county roads and under their jurisdiction. I know in the past, if we've had a really bad pothole, I've asked Tom if he could go and have the crews get those, just because Wayne County may not get to them right away, and it's still going to affect our residents' tires and so forth. So we do try to get to those if we can. But that is the number for that. I will also post it up on the Facebook page. I'll make sure it's up on the website as well.
Jennifer Kibbe, the Allen Park DDA. I just wanted to follow up on the rest of Charles' question, because if he has a question, everybody else does too. The DDA works with DPS to fill all of the alleys and then tamp them down. I had a meeting with DPS last week, and they'll be starting soon as the weather gets more reliable. And I know that part of South Allen is at the top of their list. And I encourage anybody, I try and drive the alleys and try and let DPS know, but if you've got a problem that you see, let me know, and we'll take care of it. Thanks.
If I may, through the chair, I'll add to that as well. Last year, I think DPS was able to use a roller from City of Woodhaven. And free millings too, further as well. So, we try to make sure that we're working with our neighboring communities or people that we have contact with in the past, and that's helped. I think that made a big difference on how the roads, or how the alleys were withstood the heavy traffic, because it was already compacted, as opposed to, I think in the past they might have used a truck and rolled over it back and forth. So the roller has done a lot better job. Just got to make sure we work well with our neighboring communities, and we have a fairly good relationship with the Woodhaven DPS. So I don't know how.
Any other citizens wish to comment or question? We're going to move on. I would just say, if you don't think sometimes that government's responsive, you're talking about Allen Road, and we had a big pothole in the curb lane in front of Martinizing, and then in front of Henry Ford Physicians Clinic. I mean, they were big enough that your tire would go all the way down into them. And I did contact the county, describe the holes, and they got them fixed within a week, which I thought was pretty responsive to get out and take care of them. So they do respond if you use the 800 number. They also have a click and fix it, where you can actually use that, take your Facebook, send them a picture of the hole. I think sometimes seeing the size of some of these things gets a little better action. There are potholes, and then there are craters. They do respond, and obviously they don't have somebody driving all over and looking at it. It's always reminded by the mayor of Baltimore years ago. He gave a reward for the city streets in Baltimore. He would change his spray paint every week. He wouldn't tell him what, but he'd go around and spray the holes, and then he'd go around the end of the week. And if they got over 50% of the holes he found sprayed, the whole group got a free lunch on the following Monday. He said it was amazing how the potholes got fixed much better for a free lunch. So maybe something to be considered by our government. I'm going to move to next item, the purchasing actions. Claims and accounts has been removed from a consent agenda, so I need a motion to put claims and accounts before the council.
Motion. Support, Mayor.
Mayor Pro Tem McLeod has moved, supported by Councilman DiGiulio. Questions? Councilman DiGiulio.
Yes, here on, under administration, under labor attorney, Seacrest, Wardle, and Lynch. Can we go into that? $22,185?
The chair, if I may, that is that's the attorney that is representing the city in the retiree health care lawsuit. That is the Dale Covert case.
How about the Russ Pillar case? Is that involved in that too?
That is also involved there. Not under Not under that charge, though.
So this is what is the total amount so far that's been spent on this lawsuit?
Including the 22,185 for this month, and I just have a total of all of them, so both lawsuits, $573,926.88.
So this is both of them, this is Pillar and Culverts
Yeah,
lawsuits?
the 573 is for both
The
lawsuits.
total so far. What's going on with that? I mean, is it ever gonna come to an end?
It's hard to say. Mr. Katie was just down listening to a deposition down in the horrible city of Columbus, Ohio, last week, and I think he came back with the information that the person hired to give them, the plaintiffs, some information on the city that thought he was doing a really good job. So that's what we gathered out of that. But we have not heard much on anything. It's waiting for a couple things to happen at the state Supreme Court level.
So it's gone to the Supreme Court now?
There's some cases at the Supreme Court that'll impact these cases.
Well, it's been going on a long time.
Long time.
Years.
I started with you 4 years ago today, and it's been going on as long as I've been here.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Kibbe.
Any other questions on claims and accounts? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That's carried. Thank you. The consent agenda will consist of the payroll report and the handbill flyer for Rene Linares fast flyer. $100 fee has been paid. So motion for those two items.
Motion.
Councilwoman Gabarecki has moved. Councilman Templin has supported. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that is carried. Thank you. We're down to resolutions. A resolution to set public hearings on proposed fiscal year 2019-20 budget for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2019, and to hear comments and authorize the city clerk to publish the appropriate notice. I need a motion to that effect. Mayor Pro Tem McLeod has moved. Councilman Rourke has supported. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And that one is carried. Resolution to purchase a 2019 Braun Express Plus F-350 4X2 Type 1 ambulance in the amount of $177,021 from the Kodiak Emergency Vehicles. Waive the bid process. Has no economic advantage to doing so.
Motion, Mayor.
Support.
Councilman DeGiulio has moved. Councilwoman Gavreki has supported. Is there any discussion on this?
I have a couple of questions that maybe the citizens would like to know. I see Mr. LaFond, our Chief of Fire Department, coming up here. Welcome there, Chief LaFond.
Good evening, everyone.
This is going to be a replacement vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how old is the old vehicle? It's been
It is 2006, so by the time we get the new one, it'll be 14 years old, probably.
Okay. And that one we get rid of? This one will be a replacement and that one will go?
Yeah, we'll look at it at the time. Either Kodiak, the dealership, could possibly buy it from us, or we may put it up for auction. There's a bunch of, whatever we think we can get the most money for it.
Is that usually the life of a ambulance?
Not normally. Normally, we try to get rid of them before that. It is beyond its normal life expectancy. It's got over 120,000 miles on it. It's in pretty tough shape.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or discussion on the matter? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Second resolution is to bid for sections of McLean Avenue and Park Avenue for payment and water main replacement. The bid to go to GV Cement Contracting Company in the amount of $2,148,933.65. Motion for that resolution.
Support.
Councilman Rourke has moved.
Support.
Councilman Cisco has support.
Templin.
Oh, excuse me. Councilman Templin has supported. City Administrator, the McLean Avenue, how big project is that?
Yeah, for this project, we'll be going on McLean Avenue from Park Avenue to Rosedale. It will receive a water main replacement as well as a full reconstruction of McLean Avenue. And then on Park Avenue, Park Avenue will be from Leslie to Champaign. That will receive a new water main in the area of Leslie to Inglewood, right in the small business district there. The plan is to start with the water main sometime in the month of May, and then the roads late June on McLean. McLean will be the first street, and then we'll move over to Park Avenue. We've talked to a couple business owners over on Park Avenue. They have some big events coming up with the Father's Day event, and then they do a sidewalk sale. So we should be able to miss their events, just based on timing as well with the contractors and budget-wise anyways.
Any other discussion by council? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. I guess I should say opposed, same sign, but I think it was carried unanimously. Fourth resolution to approve the budget amendment for an addition to $578,000 for the water main project AP 107/109. Motion to put that before the council.
Support.
Mayor Pro Tem McLeod has moved. Councilwoman Gawarecki has supported. Is this water main going into one of these items in Resolution 3?
Yes, this is actually a companion memo to the previous resolution that you just passed. The water main portion of this project, which is included in the $2 million, is coming from the water fund. Sure. And to maintain the timing of the project and get everything moving, we need to start the water main project in this fiscal year. So basically, my asking for this budget amendment is to allow me to pull the money from next year's budget into this budget in essence.
So we're just moving the money ahead because
Yeah, I'm going to cash some investments for the water fund and so that we can do it this fiscal year, and then the money will be replaced because this water main was actually in next year's budget, but pulling it forward means that money will be freed up in next year's budget, and I'll replace the investment. Clear as mud, right?
Are there any questions by council? Hearing none, then I'm going to ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That is carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cady. We were at the fireworks business, always entertaining every year. Third reading and public hearing for ordinance number 03-209, amending Chapter 18, Fire and Protection, Article 3, fireworks by repeal and readoption of Section 1861 to amend permitted days and hours consistent with state law. I believe I need a motion for the third reading and to call the public hearing.
Motion.
Councilman
Support.
Sisko has moved. Councilwoman Gawarecki, has supported. Are there any questions by council? Hearing none, I'll ask for the vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That is carried. And I'll open the public hearing at this point.
I made her read it first.
I think probably we will read it again here.
Sure.
So this will be a third reading of proposed ordinance 03-2019, an ordinance of City of Allen Park, Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 18, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 3, fireworks, by the repeal and readoption of Section 18-61 to amend permitted days and hours to be consistent with state law.
And now we can open it for public hearing. So if anyone wants to come forward and ask questions. I think while you're thinking about it, we'll have the city administrator read the dates. I think the changes come from the state statute that's passed And the reason we have to amend is to always comply with whatever changes they make as to days, times, or whatever.
It says here, it shall be unlawful for any person to ignite, discharge, or use consumer fireworks in the city except on the following days after 11 a.m. 1, December 31 until 1 a.m. on January 1. 2, the Saturday and Sunday immediately preceding Memorial Day until 11:45 on each of those days. 3, June 29 through July 4 until 11:45 on each of those days. 4, July 5, and if the date is a Friday or Saturday until 11:45 p.m. And 5, the Saturday and Sunday immediately preceding Labor Day until 11:45 p.m. on each of those days.
So those are the times, and there are some changes in the lateness that we can annoy each other, and and also they extended more days so we can annoy each other even additional days. Are there any other questions? Does anyone want to come forward and ask a question? It is a state law that allows this, so cities and townships really don't have any choice on the matter. They have to comply. The advantage of our putting the ordinance in and passing it is if our citizens or people from outside the city violate the law, when we issue the tickets, they come and we collect the fines. If our police force enforces it under the state law, the state keeps all the money, and we still do all the work to collect for the violations of the law. So it makes sense for us to have an ordinance. I see no one coming forward, so I'm going to close the public hearing. That is closed, and I'll take the final reading and adoption of the ordinance, and I'll have that motion to put that before the council.
Motion.
Councilman Cisco is moved.
Support.
Councilman DiGiulio is supported. City Attorney, would you want to do the reading and adoption of the ordinance on this?
I'll take this one, Mayor, because I will need a roll call vote.
Oh, all right.
So, for the final reading and adoption of ordinance 03-2019, an ordinance amending Chapter 18, Fire Prevention and Protection, Article 3, Fireworks, by the repeal and readoption of Section 18-61 to amend the permitted days and hours consistent with state law. I have a motion by Councilman Cisco and supported by Councilman DiGiulio. And shall this ordinance pass? Councilman DiGiulio.
Yes.
Councilwoman Gavarecki.
Yes.
Mayor Mategas.
Yes.
Madam Pro Tem McLeod.
Yes.
Councilman Rourke.
Yes.
Councilman Cisco.
Yes.
And Councilman Templin.
Yes.
The yeses have it. The ordinance shall be deemed adopted and published in a manner prescribed by law.
Thank you all. That concludes the regular order of business. Come to council comments under other business. Would somebody like to go first?
I don't mind.
Councilman DiGiulio.
I guess the only thing to say, congratulations, you've earned it, Lieutenant Mihal, Lieutenant Granica, Sergeant Schreier, and Sergeant Overton. Congratulations, man. You've earned it. Thank you, Mayor.
Other comments by Councilman Templin?
I'd also like to go on to Councilman DiGiulio's, thank Lieutenant Dave Williams and Lieutenant Jeff Reimers for their service to the community. And thank you, everybody, for coming tonight.
Councilman Rourke.
Okay. I just want to, we had a couple of our long ago firefighter, Mr. Angelotti, passed away. So condolences to his family. And then I just call him kind of a hockey guy, Bob Draper, well, he's called Drapes all the time, who passed away. And a good friend. A lot of people knew him throughout the city. And condolences to his family and prayers as well. And Charles had mentioned the play, The Little Mermaid, and I'm not one to go to see plays and things like that. And
I've gone to a couple of the high school plays, and that one was very impressive. The orchestra that they had were from professional musicians that come around, and just the music and me not having any little kids around, I wasn't too sure on what the whole story was about until it started going through and you learned with it. But it was very nicely done. And like I said, you know, we have a lot of talented people, and when we talk about the Pro Bowler Tour, I was watching that on TV as well. It was on one of the sports stations, and I'm not sure how they squeeze all those people in there. We went, when we bowled there that one time and looked at the arena, because back in August they also had the international tournament for youth at the bowling alley. So like you said, they do a lot of those things. People assume that it's all being communicated via email and things like that, but maybe we need to look at a better way of promoting it outside to everybody as well. So thank you for those comments.
Councilwoman Gavaricki.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just going to spin a little bit off of what Councilman Work said. So the World Series of Bowling and the high school play, I believe, I know not everybody's on Facebook, but the city's Facebook page, I think, did post it because I knew I got the hours for the play at least after that. So the drama club did an awesome job with The Little Mermaid. So I don't know if any of the students here tonight were in that, but it was excellent. So nope, okay. Well, it was good. So the World Series of Bowling, I guess we're not only known for the Lions training facility and the big tire anymore, but not many bowling alleys left around, and Thunderbolt always seems to be able to host a huge tournament, so that was pretty exciting. Congratulations to the police department on their promotions. I would also like to offer condolences to the following families. So that would be the Diaz family, the Draper family, Angelotti, and the Kilburg family, also on the loss of their loved ones this past couple weeks. So it's been a tough couple losses for the community, so unfortunately, but may they all know my condolences are there. I guess, thank you for coming out. Opening day next week, Thursday. Go Tigers. Thanks.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I have been attending SUDS meetings monthly. That's the Stop Underage Drinking / Drugs Downriver. They ask that representatives from different communities attend. It's very interesting. It's at the Guidance Center. I wanted to let everybody know that April 27th is National Prescription Drug Take Back Day. I'm sure and I hope that you are all aware that our police department has a red drop box for your prescriptions. Please, please utilize that. Please do not be kind to your relatives. Consider your children or other people who come into your home. You need to get rid of those drugs. We got a sheet at the last meeting. It lists from the National Safety Council your odds of dying and cause of death. And opioid overdose is number 5 on the list. Your chances of dying of an opioid overdose are 1 in 96, as opposed to 1 in 103 for a vehicle crash, or, oddly enough, 1 in 285 from gun assault. Just preceding that, again unfortunately, is suicide, 1 in 88. And I don't know if anyone's aware, it's been in the papers. I was talking to a policeman recently, but police deaths from suicide are now higher than for being killed in the line of duty. So we need to be aware of what's going on around us and help people. On a different note, I encourage anybody to attend the Cardinal Showcase at Melvindale High School tomorrow from 6 to 8 p.m. They've got a lot going on there and a lot to show you. Thank everyone for coming out. Again, congratulations to our promotions and our retirees. I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. I don't think I've ever seen a retiree who didn't enjoy it. Well, there was one, but that's a separate story. Thank you all for coming out tonight, and be safe.
Councilman Cisco?
Thank you, Mayor. You know, I've had a little theme going on in my comments, and it's about voting, and basically directed towards the younger people as they get to that magical age of 18 where they can vote. So I just want everybody to think about this for a second. A little history is for the young people in the audience that are either 16, 17, or some that are 18. 8 years ago, when you could have been 8 years old, 9 years old, or 10 years old. This is 8 years ago. 8 years ago this month, the city council that was elected with Mayor Gary Burtka as the head of the council voted unanimously to lay off the entire fire department. And I want everybody to be aware of the consequences of things like that. And part of that layoff notice was due to the action that same city council took in taking out $30 million in bonds to build a movie studio. So elections have consequences. And part of the problems that we've had as a city in struggling since the 8 years I've been on council is putting the city back together what a previous council had done. Now, they can have all the good intentions of the world. They thought maybe they were doing the best thing. But the reality is it didn't turn out that way. And a little more inspection of what they were doing at the time probably would have helped. So I say this to everybody. Don't forget, elections do count. Go vote, register to vote when you can. I'm sure our city clerk, Mr. Mizzi, will tell you when at 18 you can register a little bit early, I believe, in time for the election, so you don't have to do it the last minute. But that's what I wanted to say. Just a little history lesson. 8 years ago, this month, the entire city council unanimously voted to send layoff notices to the fire department at that time. Could have had a disastrous result. So, elections do count. And I thank everybody for coming. Thank you.
Treasurer Armstrong? Mr. Clerk?
And with that, by the way, you could register to vote at 17 and a half. So when you're 17 and a half, get online, print that form and fill it out and bring it in, and be more than happy to add you to the rolls on your 18th birthday. And I just want to remind people, speaking of elections, this is a mayor, council, clerk, treasurer year election. Petitions are available in the city clerk's office, and they are due back April 23rd at 4 p.m. Contact the clerk's office if you have any questions. And again, these petitions and the forms are all available there. Thank you all for coming out. God bless you and good night.
I have one question, Mr. Clerk. You have the numbers that they have to bring back on their petitions for?
Yes, and you need a minimum of 50 and no more than 100. Okay. So we stop counting once we get to 50 good signatures. And some cities, villages, and I think townships do allow you to pay a $100 fee, but Allen Park is not. Our charter states you have to have the 50 signatures. So please don't wait till April 23rd and say, hey, I'm here to pay my filing fee. There isn't one. You have to get the 50 signatures in order to be a candidate in Allen Park.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk.
Thank you.
I just want people to understand, you don't come and think at 4 o'clock by 4:30 you'll be on the ballot for the election or primary. You have to have go out and get those signatures, so it is important that you do it. I want to welcome all the seniors here. You got the notice from the clerk and the encouragement from one of our council people. If you haven't registered, there will be a vote. If there's a primary, it'll be August 13th.
No, August 6th.
August 6th.
It will be August 6th.
And then the general election will be in November. So, but thank you for coming out tonight. Thank all the rest of you for coming out tonight, and I will ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Councilman DiGiulio has moved. Do I have a support?
Support.
Councilwoman Galrecki has supported. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same time. We are adjourned at 7:58.